year is completely redesign the menus, the features. We've brought in cutscenes of when you win Player of the Year awards, cutscenes when you actually sign players, you get a press conference. And just the whole flow of the game in terms of team of the month stats, team of the season stats, you yourself as a manager building and moving clubs and managing international teams as well. And Master League is one of those things which we had to focus on for the fans, because we've obviously brought in so many more modes and new features, like in my club, which was brought in last year, and we've really built on that. Where you've got brand new menus for that as well, and those are new designs. So we wanted to balance something, one for the new people and one mode obviously for the fans.
We know that most of the new features are related to the gameplay, right?
Absolutely.
Could you tell us more about these aspects? How will they affect the way people play? They used to play and how they will play now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching the gameplay now, and hopefully people can sort of sense how it's really, really fluid, super responsive. And one of the things that we focus on, gameplay is something that we can impact. I get a lot of questions about licenses. Licenses is something that we can't impact. There's a lot of factors that come into play. But with the gameplay, that's what PES is known for. So as long as we focus on those elements, we can still be the #1 football game. And it's about making it super responsive. That's the most important thing. So when you press a button, there's an action. It happens straight away. And making it fluid is really important. We've balanced that with the new collision system as well. I'm not sure, I've seen quite a few players falling already. And that's calculated, so when there's impact, he'll fall accurately. Sometimes he won't have to fall, he can sort of keep on running and go for the ball as well. There's new AI as well. You'll notice players always moving, always running. And the basic concept for that is that you don't have to press a button to trigger a run. They should be happening naturally around you. Oof, that was nearly a goal.
And what if I am a new player? Never played Pro Evolution Soccer before. Will it be easy for me to, control the game to score some goals? Because I think that's the main problem in most sports games. They are so complex.
It can be quite demanding, can't it, coming in as well. And I think one of the key things, you mentioned someone who's never played PES before. In general, if you've even played PES even 20 years ago, one of the cool things about PES is that the controls don't change. We have made it super responsive, as I mentioned, and we brought in a lot of features in the actual gameplay. But the key thing is that it feels fresh and new, but the controls are the same. When the demo hits next week as well, obviously it's free, so everyone should go download it. We've got all the difficulty levels as well, so you can start from a beginner and you can build up as well. We are making a simulation sports game, so there's always going to be a barrier, and I totally appreciate that. But we do feel that with the game being really fun to play, really fluid, a lot of great goals, I promise, even though you haven't seen one yet. but it is great fun to actually play the game.
And you just announced that the Euro 2016 championship will be available. And what can we expect from this mode?
It's a really good question. I do ask that myself right now. So I work on the product, not on licensing, but I am really happy to announce the Euro 2016 license. It's a tournament license, so it's not necessarily something that will be, I don't think, will be part of a game, or it might be its own game, or it might be something else. What I do know is that we'll talk about it more next year. Because it's not part of PES 2016, we really want to focus on this year's game, and we'll definitely speak about it more next year. It's more of a statement. Licenses is something that PES gets knocked on quite a lot. I mentioned already that it's not something that we can control. However, it's a nice statement to make that if one comes available, we're going to go and get it. Whenever we can, we will go.
And speaking of licensing, can we dream about other international tournaments in the game, such as the European Champions League and the South America Libertadores da America, for example?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say too much. Right now, there's a lot of tours going on in South America, actually. Latin America next week. We'll be traveling to Chile, and there's a show in Brazil coming up as well. And we're going to announce some really cool licenses. Obviously, we got Neymar on the cover as well. So yes, the UEFA Champions League is exclusive to PES for another 3 years. We've also got the Asian Champions League exclusive to PES. We've got the Libertadores and Sudamericana exclusive to PES. We've got a lot more licenses to announce in terms of the Latin American licenses, but for Europe, we've got La Liga, Ligue 1 in France, we've got the Dutch League, we've licensed Bayern Munich, Wolfsburg and Mönchengladbach. We've got a ton of teams, we've got a ton of leagues as well, 81 international teams in the game. So it's fully featured, loads of, and obviously we just announced that we've got edit mode on the PS4 where you can import kits again. So you can, I'm not saying get around licenses, guys, I'm just saying you can make any kit you want.
That's awesome. And the Neymar, the Brazilian star who plays for Barcelona, is this year's star at Pro Evolution Soccer. Me as a Brazilian, I feel very pleased about that.
Yeah.
And what can you tell me about the choice?
Do you know, what we announced at Gamescom actually as well is to match up with Neymar is we've signed Alvaro Morata from Juventus.
Yes.
And he's going to be on the cover in Europe. Okay. But in Latin America, it'll be just Neymar. The choice is quite simple. Last year we signed Mario Götze, and he goes and scores the last goal of the World Cup, and we look really, really good.
We really don't want to talk about it.
Right? Sorry about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
And
that was a great goal. Look at Rabona as well. It looks fantastic. Yes. One thing really about Neymar is for PES last year we wanted to focus on signing the best young stars. Neymar is super easy. He's probably, he is the best young player in the world. So for us, it was that simple. Also, you mentioned something about not being probably happy about Mario. Latin America is a huge market for PES. It's where we still control. We're still number one, and we wanted to give something back. I don't think it was great seeing Mario for the Brazilian fans nor the Argentinian fans, to be fair. And that's why we got Neymar. That's why we put him in the Brazil kit as well, because we think it's really iconic as well. So,
on the past couple of years, Konami has been focusing on young players to feature on the cover. That means that you're focusing on young audiences for the game as well. So you want new kids to play Pro Evolution Soccer as their first football game.
Absolutely, yeah, and obviously these are people in their lives that they look up to. And they aspire to and play football and when you see the young stars as well. PES is known for being a game which is something that you knew 20 years ago. It's a series, a really famous series, and I guess we need to start. I mean, I'm 33, I'm getting old. We need to start bringing in the new fans as well, and that's one of the things that we're doing. We are working with younger players. It's too easy to go after the Ronaldos and the Messis, I think it's quite boring, and we want to be different.
That's great. And one of the new additions to the game are the My Club mode, right?
Yeah.
Could you explain me what's all about?
Yeah, sure. My Club is a team building mode where you can use in-game currency, or you could actually buy currency with real money, and where you're sort of building a fantasy team. And My Club this year is mainly focused on making the experience super fluid and seamless. The menus last year were quite hectic and crazy, and we've really streamlined it, and we've changed the player icons so it looks much more cleaner and just nice really for the users. One thing that we have to be aware of is that My Club is a mode that you keep spending money in, and if a consumer is spending €60 on a game and then being said to keep spending money, we want them to be satisfied and feel good about spending more money in the game as well. So we brought in some new features like training. So sometimes these kind of modes encourage you to keep buying and spending, whereas if you've got a young player that you like who's maybe a low rating, you can actually build him up and his stats can go higher.
Great. In 1 week we're going to have a beta version, for free. It's not a beta, it's a...
It's the same, it's actually the Gamescom build, so it's the same teams, 7 teams, 2 stadiums, 10-minute matches. You can definitely get a lot of gameplay out of it as well. 13th of August, worldwide, globally.
For free?
For free for all the consoles.
So how close is this version from the actual game that's going to be released on September?
Yeah, this is around 80 to 85%. And we're still doing a lot of tweaks to the ball physics and the AI and the collisions and things like that. So the demo comes out, we want to hear the fans, we want to hear what they think of the game, and if we spot any issues, let us know, we'll fix it for day one.
That's my personal question. What's your team back in England?
You know what? I'm actually a weird one. I support AC Milan. It's through family and heritage of my own. Yeah. So right now we're not so great, but hopefully, like a PES, we will come back stronger soon. We signed a lot of players this year.
And when you play the game, you play as Milan?
I do. Yeah. I go to Master League and I try and assign all the best players so I can improve them again.
I support São Paulo in Brazil. Hopefully I'm going to play with these guys in the game.
Wait and see.
Yeah,
that is an announcement coming for sure.
That's great. So it seems that he won, right?
Yeah, thankfully.
Oh,
but you can see Totti here as well. The visuals.